Here we are back in the sump. I'm gonna try and stay back a little bit so that you guys don't hear so much of the pump noise. I've installed the Deltec SC2560 skimmer, and let's just kind of sit back here. You can see it's actually working. It's pulled out some. I installed it last night at 3 p.m. and it is now I don't know, 9:15, 9:30 the next morning, so it hasn't even been 2/3 of a day yet, and it's pulling out the really thick bio pellet remains. You can see there, the effluent from the bio pellet reactor gets pulled in and makes that very thick foam, very thick foam. The Swabbie, I don't know if you can see it back in there, just barely see it inside the foam there. No, it won't focus. That's the Swabbie, and if I pan down, you can actually see the blade there of the Swabbie. I have the Reef Keeper programmed to turn it on for 5 minutes 6 times a day. And as you can see, after 2/3 of a day, the neck is still as clean as it was the day I installed it yesterday. The skimmer is quiet. I raised my water level about 1 inch. Originally I was going to have it at 8 inches depth from the inside. I raised it to 9 after reading the Deltec information. They recommended between 7 and 10 inches, and the higher it was, the better they said it operated. So with the sump overflow here, and then it overflows into the filter sock chamber, and then the water goes underneath the filter sock chamber and then comes over to the skimmer chamber before it goes over to the heater chamber and then back underneath and over a weir into the return pump chamber. You can just see it back there on the left a little. But the Deltec is, if we zoom in, see how much we can zoom in here. You can hear the Kalkwasser reactor. And you can see the air being sucked into the chamber. See it there? For the skimmer. That is the pump. Needle wheel pump. And the suction volute is right there. Of course, the air line comes from the muffler up here. So there's the air line muffler, and then the air line's got a valve on it. You can see that valve. It's wide open right now. And then it runs down underneath, and you can actually see the air being sucked into the pump, the skimmer pump. Interesting, never seen that before. Usually you don't get a longer tube like that pulling air in. But if I move up, you will see the bubbles here. Small little bubbles. And runs through the transition and then up to the actual neck. The neck's about 6.5 inches long or so. So the Swabbie came in, wiper came in about 8-ish, 7 3/4 to 8. So I did actually cut the Swabbie wiper down. I have it set to run for 5 minutes at 12 a.m., 4 a.m., 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 p.m., 8 p.m., and then it starts all over again. So basically what I did on the Reef Keeper is set it to run outlet 1 on the PC4 or channel 1 on the PC4 for 5 minutes, and then be off for 3 hours and 55 minutes, and then set a repeat of 5, right? So there's 6 4-hour periods in a day, so I only repeated it 5 times. And then you could see the foam, thick foam that's built up just overnight. I'm going to tweak it. They recommend, the Swabbie recommends to run it a little wetter, and obviously it looks pretty dry. There is a little liquid in the bottom, just a tiny bit, probably, I don't know, a little over 1/8 of an inch, maybe 3/32 or 3/16. It's not much for one night. Of course, the skimmer needed to break itself in, so can't hold that against it. But you can kind of see here the actual, let me zoom out so it focuses. And you can see the air bubbles being generated by the pump there. And the plate, you can really see the plate. It's right above the water line. You can see the black plate there. That's the black diffuser plate. And then you can of course see the bubbles on both sides of the Deltec sticker there. And then you can see them up inside the neck there. I don't know how close I can get in focus. I don't think it will. But you can see the bubbles passing the Swabbie wiper blade there up to the top. You can actually see the foam breathing. If you sit here and watch it, I could see the foam moving. So it's still pumping out junk. Of course, I'm sure over time it'll get a little better. I was just looking at my biopellet reactor and I noticed that the biopellets are starting to get eaten away. It's been, I don't know, 6 weeks or so, 5-6 weeks since I put that biopellet reactor in. And I do have it running really aggressively. This bigger one clogged on me once on the side in the interior at the center pipe. So I have it running a little more aggressively now. And of course I have the Swabbie motor head on the top there. It runs again 6 times a day. You can see the water level in the pipe. Moves up and down a little there in the overflow pipe. But so far she's running really well. No issues, nice and clean. Of course, it hasn't even been a day, so obviously I'll be able to let you know over time how it works. But it appears to be working really well right now. The Swabbie is a new thing for me. I'm so used to pulling the head off and cleaning it once or twice a week. And of course everybody hates doing that, but it's a necessity, so we all have to do it. Another neat thing is there's a drain here. You can't barely see it inside there, but that drain, remote drain, comes down this hose, and then right now it's hooked up to this valve which is closed. So what I'll be able to do, hopefully, when it gets really full, is pull it over the side or stick a cup or something down inside and then actually drain it without having to remove the cup. That was the goal here, to keep from having to remove the cup, 2 times a week. If I can get it down to every other week removing the cup, I'll be happy. If the Swabbie works that way, that'll be great. So far it looks really clean, and as I set the Swabbie to run a little wetter with the Deltec SC2560 skimmer, then I think we'll be on a roll. Right now it's running very well. Everything seems to be doing fine. Anyway, I thought I'd give you a good look at the SC2560 internal skimmer in operation. Hasn't even been 1 day, but I thought I'd give you a look at it. Take care.